Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new here, welcome for the very first time. And for those of you who are always hanging out with me, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. So I am sharing with you something fantastic that I have been using for a little bit, and I want you to have it. I haven't done a natural hair video in a while, but this is worth it. So here we go. I have been making these natural oil DIY bars for my hair, and they look like this. And I keep them in a freezer bag, and I just use them to moisturize my hair and my ends. And it's a quick way to get the oil in my hair. And I put them in the freezer in a bag, and my daughter can grab them. So I mix all of my favorite oils together and I freeze it, and it comes out in a solid form, and it stays solid while I'm using it. And then I just stick it back in the freezer. Now, what I love about this bar is that it's easily customizable, which means in the winter I tend to use heavier oils in this mixture, and I love a castor oil based bar along with the beeswax and the shea butter. And in the summer I use lighter oils. I'll use my rosehip oil, olive oil, and coconut oil is not really compatible with my hair, but I do love a good avocado oil in my bars. And so I show you how to make this bar and to use it on your hair. If you're interested, stay tuned and enjoy the video. Hey loves, so I'm just turning on the stove, and quickly you'll see here I have some of my essential oils, some rosehip oil and some extra virgin olive oil, and I use all of these just to make my oil bar that I use at night on my hair. I made a rudimentary sort of double boiler. If you look closely, I have a little glass container in there that's just heating up. I put it on low heat, and let's get started because I don't want to waste any more time, and I'm kind of in a hurry, but I want you to have this recipe. So I'm adding to the bowl just a tablespoon or two of the shea butter, and I'm going to let that start melting down in my bowl. Next, I'm going to add, now this is kind of an oil sealer, so I'm just going to add here, and can you see that? I'm going to add a tablespoon of the beeswax chips and let those melt into that shea butter. I use a little more shea butter and a little less beeswax because the more beeswax you use, the firmer this will be. So it's starting to melt. And to this mixture, you can add any oils that you want to. If you prefer argan oil or avocado oil, feel free to use those. I changed my oils out. Currently on hand, I just have a little, I'll put that down. I have a little olive oil, so we'll add that now. I eyeball everything, so I don't really have exact measurements. I will come up probably about 2 teaspoons of that oil. And then I'm going to add 2 caps of this rosehip oil. I love this one. I use this one when I make a body butter. I find that it sinks in a little bit better into the skin, and it's not as greasy or heavy as some of the other oils. And I've read that it has a lot of nutrients to it. So I added 2 caps of that rosehip oil. And if I'm going too quickly, don't worry. I'll make sure everything is listed. This will also be a blog on my website, so you'll be able to go there and get the full recipe. Now I'm just going to add 3 to 4 drops of each oil. I like eucalyptus oil, and it has antibiotic properties and antiviral properties. So I add a couple of drops of eucalyptus oil, peppermint oil, because who doesn't love the tingle and the stimulation that your scalp gets from peppermint oil. A little bit of lavender oil, which is also very soothing. I love lavender oil. I love the scent, so I add a few more drops to that. I usually add about 6 to 8 drops of that. And last but not least, I'm going to add a couple drops from my dropper of the tea tree oil into my bowl. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as you know, or you might not know, I'll share with you, tea tree oil is also antiviral, and it also helps if you are struggling with dandruff. If you add a couple of drops of that into your shampoo or conditioner, it will help fight those dandruff flakes. I would let it sit in that conditioner on the scalp for just a few minutes and then rinse it away completely. And now this is almost completely melted down. Once this is melted down, fully. I will put it in the freezer, let it freeze for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then when you take it out, you might be wondering how I get it out of the bowl. I turn it upside down or put it in some hot water and let the outside melt just a little bit so it slides right out of the bowl. And then I store this in the freezer in a Ziploc bag, and I'll show you that finished product at the end. So this is almost completely melted down, and we're going to add it to the freezer. Now, I usually make a double batch of this, but I am at the very tail end of my shea butter whip, and so I actually don't have any more, so I need to place an order this evening. But I wanted to get this to you as quickly as possible because this has been a lifesaver on my hair at night, and I find that it is probably one of the most nourishing ways, and it seems to seal in the moisture a lot longer than just putting the oil directly onto my hair. The beeswax will hold it in. So one caution with the beeswax, when you wash your hair, you are going to have to clarify this out of your hair, and I wash my hair about every week to 2 weeks. So I use a clarifying shampoo whenever I use this bar on my hair, which I've found no problem with. It comes out completely. Now that it's completely melted, I'm going to turn this heat off. I'll come back and show you how the bar turns out after it's completely frozen and in its solid form, and I'll show you how I use it. See you shortly. Hey loves, so our little bowl of oil is fresh out of the freezer. I'm just going to run it under some hot water until that bowl heats up enough to release the product. You can set it in a bowl of hot water, but I don't feel like being that patient for the moment. I just want to loosen it up enough to get it out, and that's it. That's your finished oil bar. And now you're ready to use. What I like to do is, once mine is frozen, I like to have it ready to go, so I'll store it in a Ziploc, put it in the freezer, and I'll make a few of these so that my daughter doesn't have to mix the oils and she can just grab the bar and moisturize her hair with it. And you are all set. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for tuning in, and let me know if you make this oil bar and share with us how it works for you. I'd like to hear the oil variations that you choose to use, whether you choose to use heavier oils like maybe some castor oil in yours, especially during those winter months when your hair gets really dry. And if you have a 3C, 4, any type 4 hair, you can use anything from avocado oil to almond oil. So enjoy and let me know. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed my natural hair bar, my DIY oil bar. The full recipe and list of ingredients are on my website at www.kimjagwe.com, and you'll see it in the description below, in the description box, so make sure you visit it. As always, thank you for sharing your time with me. I pray you have a fantastic week. If you use this bar, let me know how you like it and how you would like to customize it and change it up for your hair. Let's stay in contact and share your feedback with the community. We'd all love to know because we all have different hair textures. And if you found this information useful, make sure that you like and subscribe. That would really help my channel, and I truly appreciate every little bit of love and support that you give me. Until next time,